are back. Finally, Formula 2 and Formula 1 are returning, and the first port of business today is the Formula 2 sprint race. And thankfully, unlike last year, we're going to get some racing at Spa-Francorchamps, despite the wet conditions today. People might want to take notes of it races tomorrow then. 19 corners, the longest lap on the calendar, accentuated even more longer in these F2 cousin cars to their F1 counterparts. They go round in 1 minute 40s, or used to. The Formula 2 cars today, plus the rain of course, we're going to see lap times in the 2 minute 15s at the absolute best, I guess. We are expecting maybe the rain to clear up, maybe to see DRS right at the end of this race, which could be quite interesting. But we are probably going to be staying on the wet tyres for the duration, because of course we don't have any intermediate tyres to run in Formula 2. So the qualifying session yesterday was an absolute lottery. We got the likes of Tandem Calderon in 8th place. The big benefactors were Callie Mayer and Richard Verschoor as far as the championship battle is concerned. Callie took pole position. Liam Lawson, her closest challenger, down in 12th. Of course, that means Callie Mayer starts 10th for the sprint race today, as the top 10 were reversed, meaning on pole for the first time this season is Frederick Vesti, who really has been the quiet one, to be honest. Not really much of in the way of his season, surprisingly enough. And that also means that Liam Lawson will start 12th not only for this race, but the feature race as well. So this is a perfect opportunity for Callie to gain as much points as possible and take a big lead going into the final 4 rounds of the season. We only have a few rounds left. We go to Zandvoort next, and then I believe we go to Monza, and then I believe that's it until Abu Dhabi. Of course, we've got plenty of Formula 1 to bring you up until then. We've got the returning Singapore and Japanese events later in the season. 2 tracks I can't wait for. They've been 2 favourites of mine, incidentally, along with this track, Spa-Francorchamps. I don't really need to explain why. This is one of my favourite tracks on the calendar. It's kind of common knowledge for everyone, but for me, of course, being a Marcus Schumacher fan, it holds even more kind of brownie points in my favourite track estimation. It is also one of the funnest to drive on, say, the Formula 1 games, for example, as well. So it's an all-round favourite of mine for many reasons. And today, like I said, unlike last year where we had no race whatsoever because of the wet conditions, that isn't us holding us back today. We're going to get some racing here in the sprint race. And I think, to be fair, it was an absolute downpour last year, but the Formula 2 cars in particular have it probably worse, considering they don't run the intermediate tyres at all. So, like I said earlier, we'll be staying on the wets for the entire duration of this race, even if it does dry out sufficiently enough to warrant the turning on of DRS. But these wet tyres do wear quite considerably on the Formula 2 cars, so I think maybe even halfway through this only 9-lap race, because it is a sprint race, we're not even, we believe, double digits laps for the first and only time of this season that this will happen. We have got 9 laps, and the tyres will probably wear out sufficiently due to the game, probably scaling it, that we're going to probably see pit stops, maybe like around lap 4 or something. Traditionally, you would probably run the ends to the wets to the end of this race, but I do believe the game somewhat scales it, so you have to make a pit stop. You don't have to necessarily make a pit stop in the sprint race at all. You can go to the end of the race if you please. But I think, like I said, the game kind of scales it, so I think we'll be seeing high wear even in these 9-lap races. And let's be fair, if the track does dry out sufficiently enough, I think probably it's more for intermediates here, so that might attribute to it actually. And lost my mic for a second there, but we got it back. Yeah, because it's more of the intermediate conditions, I think that might actually account for the tyre wear here. So we may see a pit stop just really as a safety net for everyone to get through, which would probably make sense considering. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we do see kind of a pit stop here. Well, the qualifying was a lottery, and The top 10 reverse grid made it even more of a lottery. So could we see the likes of Frederick Vesti right towards the front, which we very unfortunately not seen so far. Well, we're finally back for some racing in 2022 at the 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go as Formula 2 returns, and Tatiana Calderon has got a magnificent start and leads going into La Source. The Sarouche car flew off the line, as did Callie Mayer. Callie Mayer has made his way up to 5th already. Frederick Vesti is the huge loser into the first corner, down in P6 already. Whereas Lawson, he's down to P14, so he had a poor start as well. Richard Verschoor also had a poor start. It's all fallen into Callie Mayer's lap, rather incidentally, considering the championship situation. Frederick Vesti trying to look down the inside of Fittipaldi there, as he's moved up to P6 for those Charouche cars. Both Charouche cars having a great start. Vesti is looking everywhere. He's going to get passed by Verschoor if he's not careful, because he left the outside pretty open there. And fortunately, he was able to cover off. Logan Sargent has lost out to Jehan Deruva. And of course, Logan Sargent will have more info on him at the main Grand Prix event later tomorrow. He is now a Williams driver, as we found out. We'll have more information, as we said, during the pre-race build-up tomorrow. Caldwell's fallen down to last, so I don't know what happened there. But Tatiana Calderon leading this race. And probably leading for one of the first times ever, to be honest. She's not had the best of luck in her previous stint in Formula 2. And this, obviously, she came back to Charouche. And now she's actually leading. And Callie May has actually made her way to 4th as she's passed Ralph Boschung there. So I think if Calderon does want to win this race, she's probably going to have to get down the road a bit, because Callie Mayer is feeling in that mood of passing cars today. So... these guys might want to get down the road sharpish before Callie Mayer catches them. There is 2 seconds between Sato and Mayer. So these 4 have taken off, or the 3 race leaders, hoping that Callie Mayer doesn't get up to temperature quick enough for them to catch them. We only have 9 laps in this race, but it's one of the longest circuits on the calendar. So there's still plenty of time for Callie to catch them, and Callie is feeling in that mood, she will. And of course, we know that Jackson siblings also have this as down as their favourite track. And there's a yellow flag momentarily. I think we've got a bit of a bus stop. At the bus stop chicane, everyone was kind of queuing at the end of it there. Someone must have come out slow and held everyone else up. So there were quite a queue forming at the bus stop, pretty much like the Great British would do in that circumstance. And here's the start from Tatiana Calderon, completely threading the needle past her teammate and Frederick Vesti, who probably got off the line rather slowly. I think Vesti completely lost out at the start there. And as we said, the Jackson siblings, Callie Mayer and Aiden Jackson, have this down as their favourite track, as fans of Michael Schumacher themselves. So winning here would be good for them as well. It's the one they really want to win. Look how many cars Callie passed in this whole start. There was a hold-up by Fittipaldi, I think, and that really held everyone else up. Callie Mayer, pretty much like in Monaco, threading the needle and her way into 5th place, and then past Sato later in the lap for 4th, or Boschung rather. She has caught Sato incidentally, and she's probably going to pass him pretty soon. The inevitable is about to happen down the inside, and Callie makes up another one. And well, we had our first ever weekend double winner in Liam Lawson at the Spanish event. Looks like Callie Mayer could be emulating that, maybe starting to emulate it today with a win here. And like we said, this is the track that the Jackson siblings want to win the most for various reasons. And we know we'll talk more about what Audi and Jackson kind of have in that regard later on tomorrow in our pre-race build-up. Meanwhile, Tatiana Calderon still leading as we come to the end of lap 2 into the bus stop. Everyone just kind of wanted to cruise through it. We've had many an incident there in the past. Last year we had no racing at all, and this immediately makes up for it. We're getting a good one as well, in the rain as well, so we can run in these conditions, like we said. Maybe some people want to take notes later on, but we do, of course, have the new race distance rule in Formula 1. Now there's different points at different race completion percentages. So that could help if we don't get a race tomorrow, which we should do because the forecast is nice and sunny, very much like that Belgian weather, which is normally wet here. But it's going to be a nice sunny day tomorrow for all accounts. I think it might rain in the morning, which will give some really awesome sense for a feature race tomorrow. We'll have to see. And even if it's cloudy, we do see the sun kind of breaking out tomorrow and in time for the race. So we will get a Belgian Grand Prix this year. And Liam Lawson down in 13th behind Amuyu Iwasa. Now, they're part of the Red Bull Junior Academy, both of them, but there's no team orders involved because they're not teammates. They're only in the same academy. Well, Callie Mayer has a chance here to build a even bigger lead than what she came in with. And she's going to pass Amori Cordia for P2, easy as you like. Callie, lovely way of taking that corner. Cordia, no chance, took the race in line, and everyone just seems... They seem pedestrian when it comes to Callie Mayer. She's actually flying around here at the moment. So they must seem quite slow in her helmet. And that was pretty evident there. That was not really a passing opportunity. You can pass there, but you need to be really brave. But of course, Formula 1 2 cars are much slower and much less downforce to deal with. So that probably makes passing in fast corners like that probably a lot easier. And Callie took the advantage there into P2. So that would be, I believe it would be 7 points for Callie Mayer in this sprint race. Verschuur will get 1 for his 8th place, but he's kind of falling behind in the championship battle. It's probably going to fall to Callie Mayer and Liam Lawson for the rest of the season. And Lawson's going to lose a lot of ground in this one, because Callie is odds on for the win now. As we enter lap 4, and we're expecting maybe pit stops around now, because the track pretty much is intermediate tyres, to be fair. So if that is the case, then the wets will not be clearing it, or rather will be overheating a little bit with the less water on the track. The wet tyres and even the intermediate tyres do need sufficient amounts of water to keep cool in the tyre temperatures. They will wear out eventually, but yeah, and even Callie Mayer is trying to look for a damp piece of track to keep her tyres in check. She's going to try and go around the outside of Tatiana Calderon at the end of the straight. Nothing doing there. She actually runs off the circuit there, so I think she broke probably a bit too late and has fallen into the clutches of Cordio and Sato behind her. And she's also getting a bit hot out of that corner as well. And that probably proves that maybe Formula 2 needs to start maybe thinking about bringing the intermediate tyres into play. I'm not really sure why they've never been a feature in Formula 2. I've never really found out why. It's probably for the same reason that we don't even use the wets in Formula 1 these days. It's a strange one, let's say, because we do have sufficient... Of course, we only have 3 wet tyres throughout a whole weekend in Formula 1. I think that's the case for Formula 2 as well, but no intermediates at all. So that makes things a lot interesting, and I'm pretty sure we'll probably see some pit stops in our lap or so, because it's going to be very difficult for these wet tyres that need sufficient water. They need drenching, really, and the track is drying out, as we probably expected it would towards the end of this race. We might even get DRS enabled, but it's not going to be dry enough, and if it's right at the end of the race, then everyone's going to be tiptoeing over the race, the finish line, because no one will want to stop with a lap left. Let's see if they come in now. Calderon is still leading this race. Callie Mayer is not passing it as quick as we thought, and they're actually going on again. And there is a car going into the pits there. I think that's quite a few actually. So it's the other Charouz car of Fittipaldi, so he gets first service. Vesti's in there. We've got one Carlin, not Carlin, Trident. It's Verschuur, I believe. I think Dragovic is in as well. Dragovic will start P2 for the feature race, by the way. First time we've seen him pretty much towards the front for the whole of this season, unfortunately. He's just not had the car underneath him. She shines for the title. He was one of the people's favourite, the bookie's favourite, so to speak, to win the title. But looks to be going down between Callie Mayer and Liam Lawson. And even then, Mayer's going to get a big lead here. Because Liam Lawson is on for no points at the moment. So just to bring you up to speed on what everyone is doing seat-wise, I think the only one who's being promoted to a race seat for Formula 2 next year will be Logan Sargent. We heard that Sargent will become a Williams driver in place of Nicholas Latifi. Callie Mayer has got her own plans. She'll be joining the Formula Academy series as kind of like the spearhead, if you will, like the main attraction. Susie Wolf announcing the formation of the Formula Academy series. Going to be seeing the likes of Abby Pulling and even Jamie Chadwick in there, because Konnersport will be one of the teams that will actually feature next season. So we'll talk about this for a little bit. What's going to be happening is Konnersport are going to be one of the 6 teams that will participate in the sport, and Callie Mayer is going to be the main driver alongside her close friend and W Series champion from last year, Jamie Chadwick. Now, of course, the W Series folded earlier this year, and Susie Wolf has picked up the pieces, so to speak, and formed the Formula Academy. So it's probably a very similar structure, if not the same. As Calderon comes in, Mayer actually goes on, but she's going to have to pit because I don't think those tyres are going to last 3 laps with the track drying out as much as it is right now. So Calderon is in, Cordial is in, Sato is in at this moment. And if Calderon keeps up at this pace, she might win this race, but it really depends on what in-lap Callie Mayer is going to draw out of the hat. And of course, less pit stops in Formula 2, and it's pretty much status quo as you were coming out of the pits. That's Frederick Vesti. He's not going to be able to gain any positions on that one. So, Callie Mayer leads, and has a 26 or 28 second lead over Calderon. It's probably not going to be enough to lead this race, unfortunately for her. But the main good news is that Lawson is still scoring no points. The pit stops have filtered out, and he's actually gained a few positions, but he's only as high as P9, so that's going to be no points for Liam Lawson. He's going to have to pass Dragovic and Verschoor on the track, who are her closest competitors. Callie runs off the track there. I think she'll be alright with that. And all on her lonesome. Callie Mayer, of course, she's got to come in. Because if everyone else can't make it on one set of wet tyres, then I don't think Callie is going to. So it would be best if she came in roundabout now. Well, Tatiana Calderon, not really a most noteworthy time in 2019. That was her debut year. Taken a few years out, but now she's back. And looks to be, maybe, on to win this race. Because Callie has got to pit. And she's coming in now. Well, we could be on the verge of history here, folks. Not only will Tatiana Calderon pick up her first ever win. I think she might have won before, though. But we'll also be having a first female 1-2 ever in any Formula category. So maybe Callie, if she does come out behind her, maybe just settle for second. I don't think that's in Callie Mayer's vocabulary, quite honestly. She's not one to ever settle for a position. But we'll see. It's going to be very close, actually, coming out of the pit. She might almost lead here. And not quite. She's actually going to fall behind Cordial there in the Amuyu Racing car. She'll probably like work with him because, of course, she's on the fresher tyres, so to speak. There's only 2 laps to go, mind you. Calderon is actually doing a very admirable job of holding on to this lead. But she's probably going to come under very increasing pressure from Callie Mayer pretty soon. Because Callie is just all over Cordial already. She gets those tyres up to temperatures, but they're going to be cooking a little bit. Because it's very much intermediate conditions now. And, oh, she is passing Cordial. There we go. We didn't see it, but Callie Mayer, it looked like she was probably forcing Cordial off the track a little bit. And hopefully we'll get a replay. And we do. Well, it's Callie probably going for an impossible gap. She's done that all season, quite honestly. Look at that. Pretty much a car's width, more or less. That's a fine overtake. Callie Mayer, pretty much, I think she had more speed than she thought through there, and certainly it caught Cordial out. So I don't think Callie Mayer intended to scare him off the track as such, because let's be honest, he didn't fall off the track. And now down the outside of La Source, Callie Mayer is feeling brave here, but she's probably going to think better of it. Oh, and yes, she does. I don't think she would have got round there in the position she was in. Tatiana was pretty much using the whole of the track width to try and force Callie Mayer around the long way round. But of course, Callie can make the long way round her own way round. That probably made no sense, but we know that Callie Mayer can make any corner on any track her own personal passing places. Very much like Tatiana Calderon's compatriot, Juan Pablo Montoya, who ignored all sorts of convention in his overtaking manoeuvres and certainly wasn't scared of anybody either, as Michael Schumacher would attest to back in the day. And Callie was pretty much trying a Montoya-esque move there, but it didn't come off because Calderon covered up well. And now we're in the penultimate lap, and still no points for Liam Lawson. So it's crucial, really. Verschel will only gain 1 on them, to be fair. So it's not a big loss as far as second is concerned. But it just considerably increases Callie Mayer's lead even further. And she's on pole for the feature race. So if Callie wins that one, then it could be almost to 50 points, maybe. She could be into the 50-point mark. Now, of course, there's 2 races in every Formula 2 weekend, but after Monza, we've got a bit of a break until Abu Dhabi. It's probably going to go down to the last weekend, more or less, because of how Formula 2 usually works. But look how much space Callie has in the Blancs de Monk section here. Is she going to try a move on at the bus stop? She's too far behind, really. She certainly is. She's just settling the second, it seems like, at least on this lap. And now down the outside of La Source again. She's going to try again. Tangera pushing her towards the grass, and she took to the grass, and Callie tries to do a switchback, but too much space and probably too much wheel spin for running onto the grass, and Tangera Calderon using every piece of track to keep hold of this lead. If that's where you're going to have to strong arm Callie Mayer into a move she doesn't like. She doesn't really have a lot of weaknesses, as does her not does her brother, really. Very similar. But there, Tangera Calderon using some very strong arm tactics, let's say, to keep Callie Mayer behind. And we're hearing that DRS could be enabled right now, but I don't think anyone would use it in these conditions. We've got a pretty much almost intermediate style track with wet tires, so if the DRS is enabled, then I don't think anyone is going to use it for safety reasons. I'm not sure why they've enabled it, if that's the case even. But well, Tatiana Calderon, as we said, not a lot of luck in her early Formula 2 days. Really ended up towards the back for the most part, although she did get a point or two. But here, she's going to get a race win. And Callie Mayer finishing second means we got our first ever female 1-2 finish here today. And she's done brilliantly to keep Callie Mayer behind her. You've got to give her credit because not many people have been able to stop Callie Mayer from passing them. Tatiana Calderon might have just found a way. But to be fair to Callie, she's probably not going to try anything overly audacious in conditions like these, although she's right up to the rear wing of the Charouse car in front of her through the Blanc-Simon section. Maybe if she carries enough speed. No, she lost out in the corner. And that means Tatiana Calderon is going to win the sprint race then in the Charouse car. What a popular victory this is going to be. It's only 9 laps, but that's the way it works. And we're hearing that, Calderon has actually taken the fastest lap as well. Wow, what a finish. She somehow found more speed from somewhere. And Callie Mayer's stranglehold on the fastest lap so far this season, for the most part, has for once been broken. First ever female 1-2 finish. Tatiana Calderon, to be fair, has done a very admirable job today. She stopped Callie Mayer from passing it. And everyone will be picking up notes if they can. And that is your top 8 then. So Lawson, with no points at all, meaning that Callie Mayer actually increases her lead by another 8 points. Because it's 8 points for the sprint race. My apologies, I thought it was less. That's probably the sprint race format in Formula 1, I think, that's being mentioned there. Yes, it is. So, yes, Calderon gets 11 points then. 10 for the win and 1 for the fastest lap. I think it's 1. I think it's 2 for pole, isn't it? I'm not sure that format has changed. I think it did, didn't it? But in any case, and for once, everyone finished. Yuri Vips finishing last of the classified finishes. So I believe that's 28 points now between Mayer and Lawson, which is over a feature race win lead now. So Callie really is approaching the driver's seat in terms of winning this race. And Verschoor has fallen to 4th now, and Dennis Hauger's there. So Hauger and Verschoor still there mathematically. Hauger didn't score either, so they've lost out big time. And Verschoor only got 1 point there. So they both lost out, both the main championship contenders at the start. Lost out the most as Callie Mayer, as she's been doing all weekend, has pretty much been the top performer, but she's been stopped by Tatiana Calderon today. Fantastic racing by her, to be fair. 47 points between Dams and Bramer. It looks like Dams could be odds on to win that one with the lead they're building. Even with the Wilds are picking up the points somewhere. So we got some racing and some pretty good ones at that. We also got history made as Calderon takes the win and Callie Mayer for our first ever female 1-2 finish. So we'll see you for the retrace tomorrow. It'll be cloudy, but we'll race, and it'll be sunny for the Grand Prix tomorrow. We'll see you then when Formula 2 and Formula 1, of course, return.